Hi, I'm Michael Chow from Microsoft, and I have FSA here with me today to present the Join the Teams plus Power Platform Movement session. Excited to have you guys here. And now handing to you, FSA.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, everyone. My name is Efesa, and I am a Senior Program Manager on the Teams Platform team. Our session today is titled Join the Teams plus Power Platform Movement, as Michael said, and we have some great content that we want to share with you today. Here's our agenda. We'll start by just sharing with you why we're excited about the Teams plus Power Platform opportunity. We will show you some new features that we're rolling out and actually take those features for a spin in some of our demos. We'll then share some additional resources that we have for you today. Let's go ahead and jump right in. In addition to Teams being a hub for collaboration and for productivity, you can also think about Teams as an application platform. And when you think about Teams as an app platform, I'd like to encourage you to think about it along the lines of a spectrum. And on one end of that spectrum, you have your off-the-shelf applications, things like SharePoint and PowerPoint, and even applications from third-party vendors like Trello. You can bring those into Teams. On the other end of that spectrum, you have high-code applications that you have built in-house over time. You can also bring those into Teams. What we'll be focusing on during this session is really the middle of that spectrum, and that's where Power Platform comes in. The beauty of the Power Platform is that it actually allows you to create those highly customized applications that suit the unique needs of your business. But it allows you to do that in a way that really delivers tremendous time to value for your end users. For those applications that you've built in-house in the past, maybe it took you some months or maybe even years, right? When you build apps using the Power Platform, you can deliver value for your end users in sometimes a month or maybe even a few weeks. Now, when we started thinking about these Teams plus Power Platform journey, we had a few ideas about what customers will be able to create when we brought these two platforms together. But as we started engaging with customers, we found very quickly that they exceeded our expectations. If we take an example of PayPal, where they've actually streamlined and simplified communications, or Telstra, where they've put digital tools in the hand of field employees to improve productivity. Northwell Health, where we're actually digitizing paper processes, or just having the ability to pull all information into a single view, as has been done at the American Red Cross. We're seeing customers actually be super creative and super innovative with the Power Platform and Teams, and we're really excited to see the additional possibilities that light up once we take these really powerful tools and we put them in the hands of our customers. When we look at the capabilities that we have today from Teams and Power Platform, our capability set is pretty robust. However, we'll continue to invest and to make these capability sets better and better. Our investments are really around two themes. The first is when you bring Power Platform capabilities into Teams, you really improve the breadth of what is possible. And the second theme is when you take Power Platform and Teams and bring them together, we want the experiences that you build to just work with minimum friction. Instead of telling you about our themes and the capabilities we're lighting up, I actually want to go ahead with Michael and show you some of these capabilities in action. And we will do it with a demo. This demo will show you a remote work onboarding solution that helps to address scenarios like how to onboard new team members, how to help them answer questions they may have, how to help them actually rate the onboarding experience, and on the side of the business, how to analyze onboarding end to end and begin to make improvements where possible. I'll start by taking the first chapter of our demo, which really focuses on that end-to-end onboarding experience. And I'll be doing that by showing you what the experience looks like in Teams and then showing you how I built it using Power Automate. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So here I am in the Teams client. I'm a new hire and I've just joined Contoso. I can see that I'm a part of the Contoso team. I can also see that I have a new message. So let's go ahead and see what that message looks like. The message is from the Power Automate or the Flow bot, and it's saying, welcome to Contoso. Tell us a little bit about yourself so we can send a message. Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and add a few notes here. I'll say, excited to join the team. Looking forward to meeting everyone. I'm working on some cool projects. Outside work, I love bowling. I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and hit submit. When I submit, I get a note that says that there'll be a post in the welcome channel. So let me go see what's going on over there. There you go. I have my welcome message being posted by the Power Automate or Flowbot, and it's giving me some good information here about my role, and it's giving other members of the channel as well where I'll be sitting, encouraging them to come say hello. And here you see my note, which I just provided to the Power Automate bot, is also added to this message, so making it really customized. And I have a few resources here that really help me to begin to ramp up and begin to get productive as a member of this team. So super powerful scenario. Let's switch gears and look at, from the maker perspective, how this flow was actually put together. So let me switch to the maker view here. Now I'm Piper, the person who actually made this flow. I am starting from the same channel, the Contoso Welcome channel. And from here, I will go to the Power Automate or the Flow app in Teams. When I get here, I can quickly navigate to my flows. And what you will see are the flows that I have available as part of this Power Automate instance. This is the flow that I have running to collect information and post to the welcome channel. So let's go ahead and go inside there. And here you can see a few steps composed of triggers and actions, which is typical for a flow. Let's go ahead and just look through real quick. So what's happening here is I have the trigger of when a new team member is added. That's triggering off of the Contoso team. So anytime a new team member is added to Contoso, what this flow is doing is first just getting all the user profile metadata associated with this user. And it is doing this using the Office 365 users connector. It's a very important connector to be aware of. And once you have that, then we do two actions. The first is posting an adaptive card to a Teams user and waiting for a response. So this is what makes it possible for that message to be waiting for me. When I actually got that message in my chat, it was going to stay there until I provided the response about who I am and my interests. I was needed to post a message in the welcome channel. And here you actually create this information using an adaptive card, so you don't have to craft JSON. We have lots of documentation about how to use the adaptive card designer, which is provided free to users. So feel free to check that out. And the next action here is the action that actually posts the message to the Contoso team and the welcome channel. And here you have the content of the message. And something interesting that's happening is I'm using dynamic tokens here. So I'm able to pull information from previous steps and use that to make my message more dynamic and more engaging. So here I'm pulling in some of that rich message that I put into the bot. And from the O365 users connector, I can pull things like the user's name, their location, and what have you. So here we really have a very simple flow, but a very powerful one that can help us really automate the process of onboarding a new user to a team end to end. The next thing I would like to show you is how you can use Power Automate to simplify the process by which you track your outstanding tasks. So to do that, let's go back to me, the new hire. So going back to Efesa here, I am still in the welcome channel of Contoso, but I have seen my welcome message, everything's great, and I am continuing to do my work. And I see this message here from Megan that says I need to give a final review by end of day today. So I have other things I want to do, but to be able to track this task, what I do is I come on this message here, I hover and I click on this ellipsis. And when I come to more actions, I see this action that allows me to create a task. So let's go ahead and click on that. When I click on that, I get this message, this dialog that allows me to actually provide details about the tasks that I want to create and track. So I say final review of document from Megan. And I add some description, needs to be ready by end of day. So we can push to publishing. And I go ahead and I hit submit. When I hit submit, Power Automate automatically creates a task for me in the background. And here I can see I've received a message from the Power Automate or the Flowbot that says, final review of document from Megan was successfully created. Here's the link to the task. So I go ahead and I click on that. And this is what I get. I can actually see that the task has been created in Azure DevOps. It has the content or the description that I added, and it even has a link for me to kind of go back to the message if I'm interested in doing that. So a very simple way to grab context from a message and begin to talk to external systems, in this case, Azure DevOps. Let me go ahead and show you how I created this flow. So if we come back to the Teams client, we can see the Power Automate or Flow app is already pinned for this user. Let's go ahead and click on that. And when I navigate to the flows page, I am able to see the flows that I have. And in this case, I have just one flow. So let's go ahead and click on edit here. And now I can begin to see the steps that this flow is made of. Let's start with the for selected message trigger. So this trigger allows us to create the form that you saw earlier that we used to capture the content or the data that we wanted to use to create our task. That form is created as an adaptive card, and if I click on edit adaptive card, you will see that the adaptive card designer is actually embedded here. As I mentioned earlier, we have lots of resources around the Adaptive Card Designer, which is a free resource that Microsoft has provided to users. So feel free to take a look and begin to bootstrap yourself, begin to create those really rich and beautiful adaptive cards for your flows. The one I have here is really simple. It just kind of takes two pieces of input, the title of the task and the description, and I have a button here. So I'm going to go ahead and close my adaptive card and move on to my next action or my next step, which is create a work item. And this is coming from the Azure DevOps connector in Power Automate. And all I'm doing here is just providing some basic metadata and then also grabbing some dynamic fields from my selected message, the title that I put in and the description, and using that to create this work item. And once I have that done, I have my last step, which is really posting a message as a Flowbot to a user. This is a step that allows us to put in a headline as well as information that we want the user to get after their task was successfully created. So again, a super simple flow, but really powerful, that begins to help the user to be able to automate the process by which they keep track of their work items and stay productive. To summarize, I showed you that end-to-end experience for a new team member joining the team. And then I showed you how that was built using the new team member joins trigger, as well as the following actions: post an adaptive card in Teams and wait, as well as the post a message in Teams action. I then showed you how to keep track of outstanding tasks using Teams plus Azure DevOps. And for that, I used the for selected message trigger, as well as the create work item action in the Azure DevOps connector. For the next chapter of this demo, we'll be looking at how to answer questions that a new employee may have. And for that, Michael will be walking us through how to do that using Power Virtual Agents to create a bot. Michael, please take it away.
Thank you, Efesa. Let's continue Nat's onboarding journey at Contoso. Nat is at home. It has questions related to onboarding and does not know who to reach out to. Luckily, Contoso has an onboarding bot building Microsoft Teams. She reaches out to the bot with her questions. Nat goes ahead and says hi and is greeted by the bot. The bot lets her know that it can assist with onboarding related questions and home office setup. Nat's first question is about how to submit her onboarding paperwork remotely. So she goes ahead and types in how to submit my paperwork. The bot tells Nat that she can submit her paperwork by emailing neil@contoso.com. Now that the paperwork issue is taken care of, Nat is also looking for special accommodation to help with her back issue. She goes ahead and says, I need special accommodation. Great news for Nat. Contoso has ergonomic furniture that can help her back problem. She goes ahead and selects ergonomic furniture. To make sure Nat is eligible for ergonomic furniture, the bot needs to put in a request to connect Nat with a human expert. The bot asks Nat for the request title. So Nat goes ahead and says, ergonomic furniture. Then the bot asks for a more detailed description to provide context to the human expert. Nat says, I have a back problem that needs ergonomic furniture for home office. Does Contoso reimburse the purchase? After creating the request, the bot lets Nat know an expert will be in touch shortly, and she can check on the status at any time. Unfortunately, there is a longer queue than normal wait time today. Nat checks in with the bot to see if her request is still active. She types in, what is my request status? The bot looks up the request status at the backend and let Nat know that her request is still active. Let's switch to the expert's view. David is an expert at Contoso that handles onboarding requests. David sees an adapted card with Nat's ergonomic furniture request in the expert channel. He reaches out to Nat directly via IM in Teams. David helps Nat to set up her ergonomic furniture purchase and reimbursement. After it is completed, David returns to the expert channel to close the request. With a simple one click, David has made the request inactive. Now let's switch gears and look at how things work behind the scenes. We're looking at Piper's view of Microsoft Teams. Piper works for Contoso and built the Contoso onboarding bot. We're showing Power Virtual Agents Teams app that will become available in the next few months. It allows Piper to create a Power Virtual Agents bot from within Microsoft Teams. Power Virtual Agents is the best no-code, low-code way to let Piper quickly build a Teams bot. By clicking on a new chatbot, Piper can start his bot building journey in Power Virtual Agents right away. Let's fast forward and switch to see the onboarding bot Piper built for Contoso. Everything that you see in this onboarding bot can already be built today using Power Virtual Agents. A bot has a collection of topics. As we can see, the bot has a few onboarding related topics. You can easily build your own topic or use the topic suggestion feature to leverage your existing FAQ website assets to not start from zero. Let's look at the special accommodation topic that Nat chatted with the bot. Each topic comes with trigger phrases that defines what user's response will trigger the topic. Power Virtual Agents comes with built-in NLP capability. Piper only needs to define a few phrases, and Power Virtual Agents takes care of the rest. Power Virtual Agents allows you to real-time track the conversation with built-in test bot canvas. By typing in I need special accommodation, we can see the bot is able to trigger the topic even though it does not match the trigger phrases exactly. As you can see, when Ned selects ergonomic furniture, the branching condition redirects to topic escalate. Let's go check it out. Escalate is a topic that creates requests for user and notifies the expert. It uses user sign-in info to know where the request is coming from. After retrieving the title and description of user's request, one of the most powerful capability in Power Virtual Agents is to embed Power Automate flows in a topic for the bot to take action during conversation. Piper uses two Power Automate flow, one to create the request and another to notify expert in Teams channel. Let's look at the request creation one first. Power Virtual Agents trigger passes in parameters from the bot. Piper creates request tickets using Power Platform's built-in Common Data Service database. Piper fills in the request detail by using dynamic content from Power Virtual Agents. Once completed, it can return the request ticket reference to the bot for using further down in the conversation. Now let's look at the second flow that notifies expert in a channel. Piper uses a parallel branch here because expert closing request in channel is an asynchronous action. Piper uses Power Automate Teams post an adapted card to channel and wait for response connector. After expert responds to close the request in the database is now marked as inactive. The greatest thing about this no-code bot-making experience is that it is easy for subject matter experts such as Piper to come back and modify the bot if policies ever change or new information needs to be added. Now that Piper has built the bot and is satisfied with its quality, he can publish the bot with one click to make the content available to end users. All that is left is to make the bot discoverable in Teams. Today, to add the bot to Teams requires manually generating the Teams app package with the bot's app ID. Here we're going to give a sneak peek at one of the many upcoming improvements Power Virtual Agents is making with Microsoft Teams. In the next few months, you can directly download the Teams app package from Power Virtual Agents. Using the package from Power Virtual Agents, Piper can directly add the package into Teams tenant app catalog. By selecting Upload Custom App, it uses the package we just downloaded. To make sure new employees such as Nat has the onboarding bot on day one in Microsoft Teams, Piper pre-installs the bot for all Contoso users in Teams Admin Center. After providing the bot's name, Piper can pre-install and ping the bot on Teams app bar for all Contoso employees. This makes sure that it's easy to find for employees that will benefit from using the bot. And this is how Piper was able to build an onboarding bot quickly to help Contoso onboard their new employees remotely. So to quickly recap what we just saw, you can build a Teams bot today with Power Virtual Agents using the no-code and low-code technology we're building. With the graphical topic designer and building NLP, you as a subject matter expert can build a bot right away. The second big piece we learned is Power Virtual Agents and Power Automate together allows the bot to take actions conversationally. And that's extremely powerful to build a bot that can not only converse, but can also take actions. Last and not least, we also gave you a sneak peek today on some of the coming soon features. The first one being able to create a bot from Teams using the Power Virtual Agents Teams app. And the second being coming down the road to allow you to seamlessly download a pre-generated Teams app package from Power Virtual Agents so you can upload it back into Teams. And with that, back to you, Efesa.
Thank you, Michael. Our next chapter of our demo really focuses on how end users who are being onboarded to this app can rate the onboarding experience. And we'll be doing that using a Power App that we embed in Teams. For that, I'll start by showing you what the end-to-end experience looks like for that Power App. And then I'll switch gears and show you how that Power App was actually built using the Power Apps portal. Let's go ahead and look at the end-to-end experience.
So here we are in the welcome channel of the Contoso team. And I have my onboarding app that I have added as a tab to this channel. This app allows me to look at my profile, complete onboarding tasks that have been assigned to me, and rate my overall onboarding experience. Now, something that's cool about this app, which I want to share with you today, is it's able to actually read context from the Teams client and respond accordingly. Let me show you what that means. So if I go in right now to settings and I change the theme of my client to dark, and I come back and refresh my app, here you go. You can actually see that the app has been able to change its own theme to match that of the Teams client. Let me go ahead and change it back to the default. I change to default. I refresh my app, and here you go. We are now back to the default theme for the app. In this app, I can go ahead and rate my overall onboarding experience. So I'm going to do that quickly. First question, how will I rate my overall onboarding experience? I think it's been going really well. The process of setting up my technology was very good. Benefits were amazing. And quality of resources were average. So go ahead and hit submit, and there it is. I am done. My survey responses have been successfully captured. Let's switch gears a little bit and take a look under the hood and see how we're able to enable these capabilities for this Power App. So I'm going to go to my Maker view, and here I'm in the Power Apps portal. And you can actually see the Contoso onboarding app, which I want to edit. I can do that by clicking on the edit button. I already have the app open here, and there's a few things I want to show you that I think are interesting about my app. The first is data sources. So here you can see that I have added the Teams connector, and this is the connector that actually allows me, my app, to talk to Teams. This is one of over 300 connectors that are available as part of the Power Platform ecosystem. If you want more connectors, you can just go ahead and search here and get the connector that you need to give your Power App superpowers. Now that I've shown you the connector, the next thing I want to show you is for some of my assets in this app, like this button, for example, if I come to the fill for this button, you would see that my fill is set to a variable called primary color. And the part of my app where I'm actually setting that variable is all the way up here in app. You can see some little formulas that I've actually created here. This first one sets the primary color variable. And I have a little switch statement here that reads the param called theme from the Teams connector. And then if that value is dark, if we're in a dark theme, I want this nice black color here. Same for if we're in high contrast. And if we're in the default, I want this nice green that you can actually see in my app. There is another variable called foreground color, which I use for this part of my app, this nice gray that you see here. And I'm doing something very similar. I'm looking at theme, and if it's dark, I go with black, same for if it's contrast. Or if it's the default, I use this nice gray that you actually see right here. And as you would imagine, the Teams theme is just one of a host of context variables that you can read using this capability. My peer on the Power App side, Matthew, has actually created this nice blog post that shows you some of the formulas that I just showed you in my app. So you can quickly get it from here and apply it to your own app. You can also see some of the additional context variables that you can read from Teams. Things like locale, so you can begin to light up localization capabilities in your app. Things like the channel ID that can help your app to behave differently based on what channel it is in, and more and more and more. You really are only constrained by your imagination here. So super excited to see the capabilities you would build in your app using the ability to read context variables. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you as part of my app. The next thing I would like to show is how to bring this app quickly and easily into Teams so you can begin to collaborate on the app where your work is already happening. So if I go back to this app overview here, I can go ahead and click on this button that you see called Add to Teams. And once I do that, I'll be taken to Teams clients, and I'll be given the opportunity to add this app for myself or for my team. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add to Teams here. So I click. So here I am in the Teams client. My onboarding app is ready to go. And all I have to do is go ahead and click on Add. And what this does is to add the app for myself. So it will actually be added to the app reel to the left of the Teams client. So here we are, my app is added. I can go ahead and pin this app to my app reel so it's always available and it's always visible for me to access. So super easy, super quick. It's something that we're really excited about and that's coming very soon.
To recap, I showed you a Power App that was embedded in Teams and how that Power App was able to respond to context it was receiving from the Teams channel. I also showed you how to easily add your Power Apps into Teams using the one-click capability that we'll be rolling out shortly. For our next and final chapter of our demo, I will show you how to enable analytics and rich insights using Power BI and how to share those Power BI reports into Teams, either by sharing the entire report or by picking specific parts of the report that you want to share in Teams and collaborate on with your peers. Let's go ahead and take a look.
So here I am in Power BI, looking at this beautiful and rich report that's showing me analytics and insights around the HR function of Contoso. What I want to do is to share this report to Teams so that I can collaborate on it with my peers. And I do that by clicking on the Share to Teams button here. When I click on that button, I get this modal window that asks me to select the channel that I want to share this to. So Contoso Analytics and Insights, I select that. That's the channel I want to share this report in. And I add a little message that says, hey folks, what do you think about this report? And go ahead and click on share. When I do that, my message has been posted. I already have Teams open here, so I just go ahead and navigate to the Teams client, and here you can actually see my message. And from this message, I can, of course, deep link back into the report. So easy way for me and my peers to begin to collaborate on this report here. The other thing I want to show you is sometimes you may not want to share the entire report, right? You want to share a specific piece of it. And you can actually do that too. All you have to do is just come in here and click on this button here that allows you to copy a visual. I copy it to the clipboard and I come back into Teams and start a new conversation. And here, all I have to do is just paste that link, and you can see that Teams was able to automatically recognize this link as a Power BI report and render a nice card for users. So here, I can add a similar message. Hey folks, what do you think about this visual? And I can go ahead and post this into the channel, and you can actually see this nice visual here that folks can begin to see to get a sense of what I'm talking about. They can also click on this button that again brings them to the report if they really want to get a broader picture. So really good tools here to really begin to drive that data-driven culture within an organization by tying Power BI with Microsoft Teams.
So that's all we have for you today from a demo perspective. I would also like to share some work that we are doing in the first line worker space. We are actually enabling some actions for the Shift app, which is our first line worker app in Teams, that would enable you to automate your first line worker scenarios end to end. We're also creating templates, which we will be rolling out shortly, that would help you to get started in terms of creating the Power Automate workflows that you want to enable in Teams. Also, along the first line worker scenarios, when it comes to digitization of apps, we are making a few investments here. The first is we want to make apps responsive. Today, when you build a Power App in Teams, you have to do some work to make that app responsive. For the new feature that we're lighting up, you would no longer have to do that work. Once you create an app once, it'll be available out of the box to run on multiple form factors. In addition, we're also lighting up a few device capabilities that will help your app be able to really hone in on first-line worker scenarios and land them out of the box as well. So these capabilities are coming soon. We wanted to share them with you because we're really excited about them and the scenarios that you will light up using them. We have a few resources for you today, starting with technical docs for Teams or any member of the Power Platform family. We have a few resources for you today, starting with technical docs about Teams or any member of the Power Platform family. We also have additional resources that include links to articles, including the one that I mentioned earlier about how to read context from a Teams channel. And if you're interested in some of the stories that we shared during this session today, some of the customer stories, we have links to those as well. Please take a look. We hope that you find some of these resources useful. And we're really looking forward to the scenarios that you light up using Teams plus Power Platform. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your time at Build and that you stay safe and stay healthy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.